The K-12 curriculum has been newly implemented in the Philippines, and the country is still on its process of adapting these international standards of education. International standards of education has already been adapted by a lot of countries around the globe, but in the Philippines case, it is an educational system started by the Aquino Administration. This covers kindergarten and 12 years of basic education, which is 6 years of primary education, 4 years in junior high school, and additional 2 years for senior high school. Even though the implementation of the K-12 curriculum in the Philippines prolongs the number of years of education, it needs to be continued because, first, the Philippine education system will be improved. Second, students can have decent jobs after senior high school, and lastly, the K-12 curriculum builds skills for the global economy. Now the question here is, K-12 curriculum in the Philippines, to be continued or not? So a brief background about this issue. Filipinos are perceived to be competitive in their international community. However, the current education system prevents the whole country from growing into even more competitive. That's why, according to the Enduring Colleges of 2020, 5 years ago, the Philippines was the only country in Southeast Asia that provided just 10 years of primary education to its population. However, since the start of the implementation of K-12 curriculum, the country has followed its neighbors in adopting an education system that provides more opportunities for students on a global scale. But amidst all the positive feedbacks, there are still many disapprovals about its implementation and criticisms that needs to be addressed. So for an overview about our pro-arguments and counter-arguments, let's first tackle about our pros. So our first pro-argument is that Philippine education system will be improved. Second, students can have decent jobs after senior high school. And third, K-12 program builds skills for the global economy. Now for the counter-arguments, our first counter-arguments is the implementation of the K-12 in the Philippines prolongs the number of years of education. Second, adds more financial burden to the parents. And third, Philippines K-12 implementation is not financially and systematically ready. So for our first pro-argument, Philippine education system will be improved. Now to support this stand, there are two minor arguments presented. First, Philippines will be compliant to the international standards. We all know that international standards has already been mentioned within this video a lot of times. And we all know that it indeed has a great impact into the educational system of one's country. Now, to support this minor argument, here are the evidences. So, the first evidence is that the new curriculum's purpose is to provide Filipino students with enough time to become proficient with their skills and concepts so that they will be prepared for college education. Second, students will be provided with more time to master competencies and skills through specialized upper secondary education with additional 2 years in high school. Now for another minor argument is that the Philippines will become a study destination. To support with evidences, foreigners are staying in the country to study, which depicts that the country has really improved its quality of educational system. And lastly, Philippines has been qualified to be an option of destination for international students who are studying English.
So the next reason why we still need to continue the implementation of K-12 program here in the Philippines is because students can have decent jobs after senior high school. So K-12 offers technical vocational livelihood track which focuses on subjects that talks about developing job-ready skills. So as a result, students may choose not to continue college and may be already qualified for work even without having college diploma. Aside from the fact that K-12 offers technical vocational livelihood track, Because of K-12, companies already employ senior high school graduates. So according to the Philippine Business of Education Workforce Development Program Director, readiness is the capacity of the companies to accommodate K-12 graduates because of the available facilities and adjusted hiring policies. So, this only attests that senior high school graduates need not to worry because there are a lot of opportunities prepared for them. So the third and the last reason why we still need to continue the implementation of K-12 program here in the Philippines is because K-12 program builds skills for the global economy. So the increase in the number of schooling years will contribute to economic growth of our country. Studies in the Philippines have shown that additional year of schooling increases earnings by 7.5%. And also, K-12 curriculum promotes global competence. The K-12 curriculum has several advantages that it puts Filipino students at the front line of educational agenda. With K-12, Filipinos have the chance to get a decent jobs after senior high school, and they can also compete with countries such as Asia, Europe, and United States. Contrarily, the implementation of K-12 curriculum here in the Philippines prolongs the number of years of education. Yes, the curriculum's model presented by the Department of Education is K642, which stands for kindergarten, grade 1 to grade 6 for elementary, grade 7 to grade 10 or what we call the junior high school, and grade 11 and 12 or what we call senior high school. The additional years of schooling is opposed by some because for them, the 2 additional years adds burden to the parents. Although the presented argument is valid, K-12 is needed to decongest the old curriculum that we have here in the Philippines. Because of the new curriculum, students would not have to rush through their lessons anymore. And in fact, they say that the K-12 should not be seen as additional 2 years of schooling, but a reduction of 2 years of college because senior high school graduates can already have decent jobs after they graduate. After all the discussion, even if the implementation of K-12 curriculum here in the Philippines prolongs the number of years of education, we firmly believe that it must still be continued and pursued. Why? Because again, Philippine educational system will be improved, students will have decent jobs after senior high school, and K-12 curriculum builds skills for the global economy. If you only give K-12 curriculum the chance, it might be of great help for our country. And the effects that the K-12 curriculum brings are often tied to one another. So if you will not make a move, nothing's going to happen. But once you do, great things will start to unfold.